Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Richard for WELSHYTECH, and this time we're looking at the Ocypus Iota A62 in black. It's a CPU cooler, and let's see how it performs, shall we? Okay, so we've got a CPU cooler from Ocypus. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but it's the Iota A62 BK. So it's in black. Let's have a look at the cooler itself. Ooh, okay. So let's have a look at these accessories first. Got to see what comes in the box onto it. Okay, so you do get a little badge, but there. So this will have the support for AMD as well as Intel series as well. It does come with thermal paste, but there. So it's got all the bracketry there. It's got even a split double there for the fans, which is quite cool. Then it does come with this little CPU cooler. This is the series. Now I have got an AIO from them as well. So, oh, it comes with them, does it? One of them. Oh, cool. Does it come with one of them, does it? Let me have a look. Or is it underneath? I don't know, but let's have a look at the cooler. So let me get it out and we'll have a look. Okay, so here is the CPU cooler. So yeah, it looks quite nice. I like the overall design. This does have a little display by here, which does tell you to download it is here. Now, when it comes to the overall look, it looks quite cool. It does have 6 heat pipes, which are quite chunky. The mounting bracket's quite chunky. The base plate isn't the biggest, but this will be fine for AMD as well as Intel socket. I wouldn't put this for anything bigger than that, but then again, it's not rated for anything bigger than that. So I don't know, I quite like the fans. Yeah, they look quite nice. They really strike in. So, yeah. Right, so there's no RGB, there's just a cable. Now, let's have a look where this cable is, because there it is. No. There it is. This is where you connect the display. It goes down to a USB port right at the bottom of your motherboard. It will say on the motherboard, USB 2, and I will put a picture by here to show you where that goes. The cable isn't very long, so that's a one downfall for me. But when it comes to the overall size, the product dimensions are 127 times 136 by 158. So pretty much any case that supports 158 millimeters in height for a CPU cooler, it's fine. The weight is actually 1110 grams. It's got 6 heat pipes. Fan quantity, of course, it's got 2. Now, these are, they're quite thin, actually. They're 25 mil, so basically standard. These fans do have a fluid dynamic bearing. The fan speed is between 500 and 2000 RPM. The CFM is quite high, actually, at 77 CFM max. That's really, really good. The fan air pressure, this is even higher. This is 4.65 millimeter H2 max. That is fantastic. That's going to push a lot of air. The noise decibel, they rate it for 29 with a rated voltage of 12 VDC. Obviously, the rated current is 0 to amps with a 2.4 watts. And of course, it is a 4-pin PWM connector. So that's fantastic. You'll be able to control them. Let's get this on the test bench and have a look, shall we? Okay, so when it comes to installing the Iota A620, then what we want to do is, these are the standoffs. This is specifically for AM5. As you can see, they're threaded one way with spacers, and then there's that. Now, what you want to do is put these down here like this, just like that. Just like this. Now, yes, I will eventually start adding this to every single CPU cooler review. Just the installation part, because I do get questions, and I would rather do it in one video. So, how to do the mounting brackets? Well, they only go one way. They're specifically for AMD, so it only goes this way by here. It's these 2 notches at the side, and they go both sides like this. Just like that. Now, you grab these little nuts by here. This is just to tighten them down. This is just for the brackets themselves. That's all it's for, because the mounting for the actual cooler, as you can see, is these 2 standoff points here with threads. That's where you're going to mount the cooler. So just like that. Now, after tightening this down, what you want to really do is get a flathead screwdriver. like that, and go around the middle, and then just tighten. Just don't want to go too tight, because you don't really want to mash these threads. So I'm just going to go a little bit tight there. There we go, and that's it. Now, that's the installation part of the mounting brackets, the screws, as well as the brackets themselves. And yes, I am using a mount or a secure frame from Thermal Grizzly, so if you want to buy one of those, the link for that will be in the description. Now we're going to put thermal paste on. This is the thermal paste I've been using the last, I'd say, few months. This is the thermal paste I'm using for this particular cooler, but this cooler does come with its own thermal paste already in the packaging. So we've got to do this now. Some thermal paste on, like that, and here we go. So like that, there we go. That should be plenty, especially for AM5. I mean, the die, the main part of this is down here. That's where the chips are. And then, of course, then you've got the controller. That's inside there. So what we want to do now is grab the cooler like this. Grab it like this. And as you can see, but there, it's got these offset beer for the screws. Now, you want to place it down on the screws themselves. Like that. And like that. Now, you will hear it. You will hear it touch the actual threads. And then all you do is tighten down each side. So you go 1, 2, like that. Primarily just so you can get the threads started. And once they start, then you'll start to feel the cooler starting to tighten down. You don't need a lot of force with this one. Not particularly anyway. Because once it's mounted, it's not going to go anywhere, because it's got a lot of different points of contact, like the brackets, and then it's got obviously the standoffs, which are already there. So it's not going to go anywhere, so you haven't got to worry there. So, and that's it there for that side. Now the last bit is this side. So we'll be back. Okay, so the cooler is installed now. A question I keep getting with the AIO, especially with screens, as this does have a little read out here for the temperatures. This is a USB 2 port. This is a connector. Now, I'm going to show you which connector or the header on the motherboard it goes to. Okay, so as you can see, the bottom of the motherboard, it will have these headers here, which is marked USB. So you take this connector here, like that, you place it there. And that is done for that specific connector. That's pretty much it for the installation. This is the Iota A62 in black at 50% fan speed. It's very silent at 50%. Now 100% fan speed. At 100% fan speed, it does sound like a jet turbine. Okay, so before we get into the thermals, what I'm going to say is it's actually on my AM5 test bench. It's a Ryzen 9 7900. It's got 16 gigs of DDR5. It is on a B650 motherboard from MSI. It's got an RX 7800 XT Nitro Plus. It is. It also has a 1000 watt power supply. It's also housed in the B-Quad Chatterbase 800 FX with 4 140 Lightwing fans. So, when it comes to the thermal part of this, it's the same tests I always do. It's 50% and 100%. Why? It's because you need to see where a good balance is going to be. So, when it comes to the 50% fan speed, the CPU power draw at high was 164 watts with a low of 151. The CPU clocks were 5.4 and a low at 5. And the room temperature before testing was a little bit cool. It was 11 Celsius, but it did go up to 14 Celsius after testing finished. So, Cinebench R23, the idles were 35 with a max of 91 Celsius. Blender Pavilion, idles 35 with a max of 91 Celsius again. Blender Classroom, idles 35 with a max of 90. And 3D Mark Supertest idles 35 with a max of 84 Celsius. Okay, so when it comes to the 100% fan speed, now the power draw was a bit higher. It was at 167 watts at high, with a low which was a little bit higher at 153 watts. Now, the CPU clocks, this is where this is going to show that this is definitely benefiting the CPU, because at the high it was 5.4, but it's the lows. It's 100 megahertz more, so with 5.1, that is what you want. It's only when the clocks start dropping, that's when you've got an issue. So, for Cinebench R23, this is the 100% fan speed run. The idles were 33, already a difference there. The idles were 33, like I said. The max was 87. There's already a good difference there as well. Blender Pavilion, idles 33, max of 86. Blender Classroom, idles 33 with a max of 86. And 3D Mark Supertest, idles 33 with a max of 79 Celsius. So already a huge improvement over thermal. And also, when it comes to the overall software, I'll put up a little video here because it's very simple. All it really shows is CPU or GPU temperature, and the only thing you can really change is that, or from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So I'll put up a little video over here to show you that, because the actual software is very basic, very easy to install as well. But also they do include a QR code and a link inside the packaging, which is fantastic. Now let's continue to the rest of the video. Okay then, so what did you think of that? Now, yes, I have started including a lot of different things in the videos, but that's the whole point. It's giving you guys more information and also helping you out that way. Now, this particular cooler currently on Amazon, this is the UK one. I found it for £49. Now, that is a very specific market price range. Now, they're going to struggle because of Thermalright. Thermalright, their most popular cooler, which will be the Peerless Assassin, is priced lower than that. So that's why I think they might struggle. This is a very competitive marketplace with coolers in general, because Thermalright has shook up every single brand to their core. It's because they manufacture everything themselves. So that price range, personally, I'd say the £40 mark would be a lot easier for people to justify. But, you know, it's hard, because that kind of price range, you are very competitively against Thermalright, because they have different coolers like the Phantom Spirit 120 Evo, which is cheaper than this. It's £40, and it does perform better than this. This cooler with the Peerless Assassin, the Phantom Spirit, majority of the big ones, it's within the 1 to 2 degree difference. So this is very, very in the deep end when it comes to this market space. Now, I like the cooler. It's really nice. Yes, it does perform well. You know, I'm going to say, obviously, I think it's okay to buy. But obviously, I'm going to say there's other options out there. So make sure you look before you buy. But if you want to buy this one, I'll leave links down below. A big thank you to Ocypus for sending this out. I do have an AIO as well here, which I will be getting around to. But at the moment, I've got something in the background there, which is a Montech AIO. So make sure you subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead of you. This is Richard for WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.